Hey, welcome back to the podcast, the Evil Dungeon Master Universe podcast. I'm your host, Evil Dungeon Master Vince, and it is Wednesday, middle of the week, new podcast day. This will probably be the last podcast for the year, as holidays are coming up, and I will be busy with family out of town, so I won't have my equipment to record or anything like that. I do have some videos in the. I have a video in the can ready to go up for next week. So there's something on the channel. We have our podcast that Jeff had recorded, Go On Man, and Rob Stacko's Thoughts, which will be up next week as well. So it's not going to be a very quiet week, but it'll be a lesser week than normal. I also ran a poll asking people, not a poll, more of a quiz. I wanted to see what people thought. The quiz was in the super module T1 through 4, Temple of Elemental Evil by Gary Gygax and Frank Menser. The players began as low-level characters in a small village that is once threatened again by evil humans and monsters dwelling in the Temple of Elemental Evil. After the players become more powerful through a series of adventures, they must enter the temple dungeon to deal with the renewed forces of evil. But first, what is the name of the small village in which the play begins? So I gave 4 different things for people to pick. I picked Shandor, Puppetville, Omelet, and Hamlet. Now I want to say that nobody picked Puppetville, which obviously was just a stupid thing to throw in there, but surprisingly, 12% of people picked Shandor, and it got about 50-something votes, or 50-something answers, and 12% picked Shandor. 6% picked Omelet. I don't know. And then the 83% Hamlet. Several years before the super module was published, TSR released the module T1, The Village of Hamlet, which was designed for low-level characters. The initial module was incorporated into the super module, which expanded the adventure into the epic campaign of Temple of Elemental Evil. So I just found it interesting that people picked Shandor, and I just made that up. I'm sure Shandor is probably something in D&D. I just don't recall it anywhere, but they picked that. So I don't know. I don't know what to say here. So we did get a great comment from Turbo Wolfie. One of the best campaigns in high school, lasted over a year. We went through a couple of the characters, but finally cleared it. Saying Cuthbert didn't need to save us. Good comment. All right. So with that said, get over to YouTube if you want to go check the quiz out and some of the polls that we did in the community tab. We like to put them up every once in a while and see what people have to say. We're going to flip to the player's handbook today. I want to talk a little bit about a first level cleric spell. And that first level cleric spell is command. Yeah, I know it's probably one of those spells that's first level. People are just like, meh, it's command. Who cares, right? No. There's a couple things about it. I remember it reminds me of a funny story, too, because, when we're kids, things are funny. So this is a level 1 spell, an enchantment charm spell. Duration is 1 round, and that's kind of important to what you say. So, area of effect is 1 creature. It's a verbal component, and it only has 1 segment casting time. The saving throw is a special. This enables the cleric to issue a command of a single word. The command must be uttered in a language which the spell recipient is able to understand. The individual will obey to the best of his or her ability only so long as the command is absolutely clear and unequivocal. An example, suicide could be a noun, so the creature would ignore the command. The command to die would cause the recipient to fall into a faint or catatonic state for 1 round, but thereafter the creature would be alive and well. Again, that 1 round is important. Typical command words are back, halt, flee, run, stop, fall, fly, go, leave, surrender, sleep, rest, etc. Undead are not affected by command because it's an enchantment charm. Creatures with intelligence of 13 or more and a creature with 6 or more hit dice or experience levels are entitled to a saving throw versus magic. Creatures with 13 or higher intelligence and 6th level hit dice do not gain 2 saving throws. So meaning if the type of creature and or NPC has an intelligence of 13 or more and 6 hit dice or experience levels higher, you don't get 2 saving throws, you just get 1. Gary was just clarifying that in case some person out there is like, but no, I get more than 1. No, you just get 1, and that's it. So this spell is interesting because of the years of using this spell, and around the table, people have tried to come up with weird things of trying to get people to commit suicide and things like that. You can't command somebody to their death, so to speak. There's just something you can't do. It's not something that they would do normally. Something like run, flee, halt, surrender would be something that they would normally do. The command word of die obviously would just make them fall down and go to sleep, be in a state of catatonic state for like 1 round. And it's important that it's 1 round because when we were kids, we all, little teenagers, 12, 13, whatever, will make up stupid things. One of my friends in the group commanded the creature to fart. So me interpreting this spell, and of course we all laugh because we're kids. So adjudicating this one, and I still remember this because it struck me as so funny because I was 12, whatever, and looking at the spell 1 round, which means okay, you can't exactly. So we'll get into the logistics here. You can't exactly fart on command, though some people can fart on command. You could try to fart on command, and you might struggle a little bit. But the thing is, it's a duration of 1 round. So the entire 1 round, that creature or NPC, at this time it was a creature, it was a goblin who understood, stood there, clenching his fists, closing his eyes, trying to fart the entire time for 1 round, which distracted him because he couldn't defend himself and he couldn't fight. Now, after that round was over, I decided that he was exhausted because he was trying to push out a fart. And what I did was I made it so the fact that he did it so, like, he stood there so clenched to do it that I rolled to see if he would pass out. And he did not pass out, but he was a little bit dizzy, so I gave him a -1 on his attacks. But yeah, that's just some of the weird things that kids do, and So again, it's important that the duration is 1 round, because if you say something like sneeze, you would think the person would just be like achoo and done, right? No, person would sneeze or try to sneeze for that entire round because of the command spell. Just like if you said to him, sleep. Okay, the person's going to lay down on the ground and for that entire 1 round, try to sleep and do nothing else but that. Jump off a cliff, you would have to break that down by jump, and you can't do anything other than make them jump up and down. You can't say jump off because that's 2 words. It's just 1 word for that 1 round. Jump up and down, up and down. Then they'll continue jumping up and down. Run. They're just going to run for 1 round away from you or whatever direction they feel, because you can't give them a direction. You can just say run, and they will run. As far as fall is concerned, I don't know how that would actually work. I want you to fall, or just fall. I guess they would. Maybe that would work off the side of a cliff. I don't know, but that's not something they would normally do. And a lot of people with these command spells, and I'm not just talking about AD&D. I'm talking about like a lot of fantasy games when they have these spells that have command. They'll give you the power to control another person. Don't necessarily think that there should be saving throws involved, and I've run into that at least once or twice when some people were like, "No," and they should be they're under my command. They're under your command for 1 round, and they're not going to do something out of the ordinary that's going to harm themselves. So people get saving throws, obviously, Unless it's a really dumb creature, apparently you don't get a saving throw. But yeah, just because you command them doesn't mean that they will do something out of the ordinary. Something that they would normally do would be like the example of back, halt, flee, run, stop, fall, fly. Fly. I mean, I guess the person would run around trying to fly in the air, flapping their arms. Go. How would you interpret go? I would just interpret go as just start walking. Leave, just get out of my sight. Surrender, simple. Sleep, rest, be sit down, relax, etc. And undead, obviously, you're not affected by the command spell because of the enchantment charm. Again, this was written before the Dungeon Master's Guide came out, so some of the little things are a little bit off on some of these, but this one works. I don't know. This command spell is interesting. The simple fact, only because of the duration, and my story obviously sparked this conversation of command spell. I'd like to know how you use it in your campaign, and what weird story you may have come up with when your players are sitting around the table. I mean, people think of the weirdest things, especially when you're young kids. You think of weird shit to do. So, I mean, obviously, fart was one of them. And it still makes me laugh to this day, just thinking of that stupid goblin clenching fists, going, trying to not poop himself. But I probably should have run. I probably should have rolled to poop. I never thought you'd hear that one, right? Anyway, with that said, I'm going to head out. Hopefully, you have a wonderful week and a happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. And keep it original, keep it old school. Good night, and God bless everybody. Keep those AD&D fires lit.